Hey guys, welcome back. 13 Sierra, and sorry I just woke up. It's early in the morning. We're going to replace the oil cooler lines, and I don't know if you all have ever had to do this, but I'll show you. These things leak a lot, and I've replaced quite a few. Let me show you where they leak at. So you can see right here where it's been leaking and running down, and they go all the way to the radiator, and they run all the way to your oil filter housing right there. So you got to take this diff partially down to get these out. And here's the procedure, but I'm not going to bore you with that. I'll just show you on the video. That way it'll be easier for you to watch. And let's get to it. Like I said, it's a 13 Sierra 5.3 liter. And if you got to replace the oil cooler lines, which you probably do, they leak a lot. Oh, and here's the part number. So GM. You might have to pause the video, but up there is your part number. And I think they updated it to make them better. So one of the first things you want to do is just take off your skid plate. There's one here. It's laying there on the floor. And take this one off. They're 15s, so that's really easy to do. So now they want you to support this diff carrier with a stand and remove these two bolts and these two bolts that are holding this up. And remember, we're not taking it all the way out, we're dropping it down to gain access to remove these lines. I think this side will be a little heavier. And I'll put another one on this side. I'm so anal, I like to make everything nice and straight. And there is a wire right there. Y'all can see that. Make sure you don't stretch that. It might even be a good idea to go ahead and unplug it, because you don't want to break it. So have it unplugged. It's got a little latch, just for safety precaution. Now it wants us to take these bolts out. Well, I need to move this jack stand over a little, kind of covered up my bolts. No big deal, I'll just move it over here. Well, now I've rearranged my stands. It's better to put them on the very ends, I would say. Okay, so now we need to take out these two bolts, or nuts. There's one, and that's a bolt there and there. I think they're maybe 18s or 19s. I'll let you know. So this side are 18s and these two are 21s. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna be able to film this, but it's hard to see. Up here, there's some wires connected to the differential. So you want to pop those loose, and this is one of them here. You can see it right back in there. And there's just these little tabs. You pop those out and undo this clip. And there's a vent hose too that you got to undo. Right, you could see it right there. So it's really easy to get to. And then that wire, you could see there. Make sure you disconnect that and make sure them wires aren't attached to this diff case. Just try it with this. There we go. So that thing seems to work good. You just get under it and pry it up. So now nothing's connected to this. We don't rip nothing down. That's the difference. If you're going to do this kind of stuff, you got to watch that kind of thing. You can't rip people's wires out, or your own if you're doing this at home. You don't want to, you know, pull down the diff and then break a wire. That's not in a good spot to try to fix it. So I'm reading the directions a little bit. Yeah, we did that. Remove the diff carrier side nuts. I guess they're talking about the ones on the side bolts. Lower the diff. It looks like I want you to lower the differential. Well, we've already come this far. We might as well just take it out. I think it'll just come. I might have to move my jacks. Well, I guess we'll just take it on down. It's not that big a deal. All I gotta do is really just move my jacks in and just drop it straight down and get it out of the way so we can do this job right. There is another clip holding this wiring harness on. It's right back here. You can get to it with a little flathead screwdriver. So you want to take it off. Make sure that nothing is connected to this diff. I didn't record this, but you got to take your drive shaft off too. They're just 11 millimeter. Make sure you mark your drive shaft. And we'll take out this cross member. That's really simple. It's just these 4 bolts. And I know people might say you don't have to do all of this, but you really need to. If it says to take it out on the service information, just take it out. It takes an extra 20 minutes to get it out and do it right. There you go. All we have to do is remove these side bolts, and it should come straight down on both sides, these right here. Okay, so I got a really long extension with a 15 wobble head. Kevin! Sorry, I don't know why it was.
Or if it was just hard to open.
I have no idea. It was locked. Sorry,
No.
I didn't mean to lock it.
You know, when you get time, you get the money, you gotta put your little doorway between that wall and the office there.
What now?
You know, when I pulled up, I saw your feet, the footprints, and I was like, oh yeah, there's no connection there.
There's a doorway between the office and there. There's a hallway.
Oh, that goes from the garage to the house? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. There is.
All right.
There. I'll get you a closer shot. You can see that it's disconnected. And I got this so it doesn't fall down too much, although you may not even have to do that. And now we're going to take out these. All right. Perfect. So let me hang that one up. Well, we should be ready to drop this diff down. So I'm just going to go a little bit at a time here. Okay. Everything's disconnected. Holding it slightly. So we got to move this out of the way. No, it's good to look up here and make sure no wires are being stretched. And we look totally good. Try to keep it as level as I can, because it might kick over. I'll put you at a different point of view. So you can kind of see here. And there it is, it's out. Let me see if I can lift up on it and maybe put it over on the bench, or at least on one of these tables. Okay, I got a lift table here, but it's not going to go that high, but at least it will go a little bit higher. I would really like to get one that they go real high, but they need to be wide if they go real high. Especially if you have heavy stuff on it. They need to be wider than this, because I was pulling down a transmission out of a Nissan Altima, not a transmission, but the whole power plant assembly, which is the engine and transmission. And it was a little tipsy. This is the 1,000-pound one from Harbor Freight. Seems to work okay, but if I get another one, I would make sure I check the width, make sure it's a little wider. So hopefully I don't kill myself trying to do this, but there. That wasn't too bad. So now look at all this room that we have. Ain't that amazing? I mean, it's so much better. That's the line we're replacing. It goes up and over. I mean, and it goes through there. People can do it without removing that, and I think I've done it, but it will bend the lines. It makes for a horrible repair. I don't think you'd want that done on your truck. So we're going to disconnect these lines and put on these new ones over here. Okay, now let's disconnect these lines. There's one there and one right underneath this radiator hose. There's one right under here and one right down there. And also right down, let me move you over. Right there, you gotta unclip that next. And take these off. I like to spray these with the air gun, if you have an air gun. Because getting these little C-clips out are a pain. So I usually try to spray out the dirt. Then I get a little pick like this. You're probably not going to see this one very well because coolant line's in the way. Okay, you can see how they're made. I usually pick the end of them just a little and then grab them and pull them out. And do the other one the same way. Now I usually twist them, kind of get them out of here, this lock mechanism, and then I kind of twist them a little back and forth, just a little, and it's usually good. It frees them up, pop right out. So if you take those steps, it makes your life easier. Blow it out, clean it out. All right, now we got another bracket. It looks like we're going to have to get from underneath. So it looks like the next step would be to take this bracket. The new part comes with the whole bracket. Can you see there's some bolts here? I think there's just one bolt. Let's look at the new one. It looks like there's just one bolt. Yeah, I can see the little slot. Undo that whole bracket, and the whole thing comes right out, and it's gonna pee on you. I think I'll let it sit there and drain for a second. And now it just looks like, to get you a better view, the whole thing should be very easy to come out. All right, let's try to pull them out. And there you go. There they are. Let's get the other ones and lay down beside them and match them. Well, it looks like they gave me the wrong parts. They gave me the stupid transmission cooler lines. I gave them the right information and everything. This is totally different. I mean, it ain't gonna bolt up. Ugh. Alright, I'm on my way to get parts. I was just showing you all a little quick shot of my town, Ashland, Kentucky. It's really nice. Right up here there's two bridges that go right to Ohio. I'll shut the camera off for a second till we get closer, that way you can see them. So maybe I shouldn't be driving and filming, but I'll do it for you guys. You can see these bridges. See the two? There's a green one and a blue one. They're really pretty. And this is the home of, I think, Billy Ray Cyrus. And so down here's all the dealerships. It's not a real big town. I don't even know. I think there's like 30,000. It's pretty rural. I mean, it's a nice little town, but I'm close to right in the crosshairs of West Virginia, Ohio, and Kentucky. So that's where we are on the map. And here's the dealership right here. Get ready to pull in. Pretty nice. Not huge, probably from some of the big cities, but good medium-sized dealership. And I was just here this morning, and we're gonna go in this parts and just get the right part. Well, now that fiasco's over, I finally got the right part. Go get some lunch, and let's finish putting this thing in there. My battery in my phone don't go dead. All right, well, that's pretty much it for the video. I'm not gonna record the rest of it, and the reason is because you just do everything in reverse, and my worker's here and he's back there grinding and making all kinds of noise. So hopefully this helps you get it apart. I'm sure if you get it apart, you can put it back together. And I appreciate you watching, and we'll all learn something together. Anything to make it easier is all I'm trying to do. Check out some of my other videos. It might help you out. Catch you on the next one.